What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So apparently you didn't want to hear my opinion on TennoCon. It's okay, I thought it was quite a positive video, but a lot of you thought it was negative. So let's go over some build videos and updated gun builds with the new galvanized mods. Does that sound good to you? Because today we've got a weapon that was actually shown off at the new war trailer, the Corinth Prime, the preferred weapon of dead rhinos on the ground. Before we get into it, make sure you're subbed to the channel and all that kind of stuff, and check out the live stream channel as well. Alright, so the Corinth Prime. This is going to be a revisit. Haven't actually made a video on this thing since it initially came out, like over a year ago, it feels like at this point. This thing is actually really deadly, and thankfully, now that we've gotten some big shotgun mod buffs, it's pretty deadly. So we've got a MR14 required Prime shotgun here with really good crit stats. So the way it goes is the primary shot, just like normally pulling the trigger, a buckshot kind of gun that fires off a bunch of pellets. They've got low status chance, but very high crit chance. 30% crit chance, very, very high for a shotgun. 2.8 multiplier, very high for a shotgun. Low fire rate, decent magazine size, and 6 pellets innately when it fires. 3-second reload, and you reload the entire magazine all at once, unlike a lot of shotguns. If you press the alt fire on this thing, it fires off a grenade that flies in the air, and you have to press the button again that you use to fire the grenade to detonate the grenade. The grenade launcher has a 4% crit chance and a 1.6 multiplier, so really bad crit stats. But thankfully, there's ways you can use additive crit buffs to make this thing actually really deadly. Because as you can see down here, a very high status chance, and the explosion has 2200 base damage. Probably one of the highest damage per shots in the entire game right there. Higher than the Brahma, higher than the Prisma Tetra, or the Tenet Tetra with the explosion shot. This radial explosion right here is extremely powerful, and the range is 9.8, a gigantic range on the explosion as well. Although it does have 90% fall off, so on the edges of the explosion, it will not be doing that much damage. So that's the explosion shot right there. If I don't take my button off the button I pressed to launch it, it will just run to a wall and it will dud. So you need to actually detonate this thing midair. It requires some skill, and the primary shot, very powerful, very good for hunter munitions, very good for taking out priority targets that require precision, like Noxes and things like that. And the high status chance on the grenade launcher actually is very good for applying status. If you can force it to crit somehow, you can actually get some really good results. So we're going to quickly show a no ribbon build here. Now keep in mind, now that they've added the new like galvanized mods and all that, and the new arcanes, you don't really need to be running serration or point blank on here. As long as you run, if you have the maxed out arcanes, you can get some kills on some fodder enemies and stack up primary merciless up to 12, and then you can start the one-shot festival. So, yeah, we'll quickly just show how it works. I'd say hunter munitions is going to be a really good recommendation here. Let's unpause the AI actually so I can walk around, and we'll get some steel path gameplay here, because this thing actually slays the steel path real bad. So you can use the secondary shot to proc him up, and then use a headshot with the primary shot to get some good hunter munitions procs. So very good stuff there. Heat proc just basically destroyed them. And as you can see, there are crits coming out. That's from the Arcane Avenger we have equipped. With the recently buffed critical deceleration, or whatever it's called for shotguns, this thing hits 90% crit chance on the primary shot. So if you have a crit chance ribbon, if you're running Arcane Avenger, you'll be seeing orange crits with this thing now, which is very, very nice. And as you can see right here, with no ribbon, 162,000 headshot slash proc, and you can see even bigger ones than that. So I'm currently not running the galvanized condition overload mods because I'm waiting for them to get buffed so we can do some, like, you know, experimentation on if they're actually useful. But as it stands right now, without those galvanized mods, it's actually doing very, very well. And this thing was a big it benefited a lot from those buffs that the weapons got. So let's quickly show the build and we'll do some steel path gameplay. Overall, I would highly recommend this weapon to you if you don't have it already. Also, Kahl likes it, so I mean, he's pretty cool. So as you can see right here, no point blank on this build, because if you have primary merciless, you don't really need prime point blank anymore. So this will give you 30% damage for 4 seconds, stack it to 12 times, so 360% increased damage. Also increased reload speed and increased ammo maximum. This thing has a bit of a slow reload at 3 seconds at base, so I definitely recommend running primary merciless. As far as the rest of the build, we've got critical deceleration. Like I told you, it does buff the crit chance quite a bit. Comparing to Blunderbuss, which is the mod we had to run before, we go from 90% crit chance on the primary shot down to 57. So another, you know, nearly 40% crit chance there. Unfortunately, the alt fire still is going to only have like 12% crit chance. But, you know, like I said, we can use Arcane Avenger on our Warframe to actually get 50% crit chance. And this thing, since it has so much damage, 20,000 right here simulated DPS, multiply that by 3 with the crit multiplier, you're hitting hundreds of thousands of damage per shot. And that will also make it so the grenade launcher can use 100 munitions. 30% chance to apply a slash proc on crit. So, yeah, you mix these things together, it's actually getting really, really deadly. Let's get some Steel Path gameplay in here. And yeah, it does, this is Steel Path, so like it's one-shotting on the Steel Path. Now keep in mind, I did just load in, so the enemies haven't really scaled up that much, but this is not bad at all. It's keeping the life support going pretty well too. So we're running Frigid Blast and Toxic Barrage to combine to make viral damage, and the viral damage will make it so if we do get 100 munitions slash proc, it gets multiplied a bunch. You can technically run an upfront damage corrosive build on here too, but for the purpose of this video, this footage was shown with a viral build, a viral 100 munitions build. The build I'm going to recommend to you if you don't have a Riven is actually going to be viral heat, because the mod Blaze, even though like plus damage isn't as important anymore now that we have primary merciless, that will technically make your 100 munitions procs a little bit stronger too. So elemental mods we have, Toxic Barrage, Frigid Blast, and Blaze. Pretty good stuff. If you want to just go for more upfront viral damage, you can put Prime Chilling Grasp up here. It will reduce your status chance, but it will give you another like 8,000 damage down here in the explosion shot. So you might want to try that out as well. Prime Ravage and Galvanized Hell, I'd say these mods are required on this build because, you know, crit damage is very good since we're getting 90% crit chance on the primary shot. And if we do gem Arcane Avenger, the secondary shot will have that 3x multiplier when we're running Prime Ravage. We've also got Galvanized Hell, multi-shot, is stacks up on kill, gives you about 200-something% multi-shot. One of the main reasons we're running this. And then Cleanse Grenier. This is the Bane mod. A lot of people don't like running Bane mods. If you don't like running Bane mods, guys, it's going to be up to you. Then you can maybe run Point Blank in that slot. Maybe you can run, you know, whatever, like some Fire Rate, some whatever. If you don't want to run Bane mods, it's Be My Guest. Keep in mind, the Fire Rate, or the explosion increasing mod, like Prime Firestorm, it does not work on shotguns, so you cannot actually use it on here, unfortunately. So, yeah, as you can see, doing pretty well. Now, I will definitely let you know that this weapon does not do very well against Acolytes in my personal experience. I'd say if you're going to be using this thing on the Steel Path to horde clear out the room, you might want to bring a Stropha or a Glaive Prime to deal with the Acolyte, because it's lots of slash proc stacked on top of each other. It's not like one big slash proc. So it hasn't been working out for me. It might be different for you. As far as Riven stats for this thing, I would definitely highly recommend crit chance, crit damage, multi-shot, maybe even reload speed or status chance, because this thing does respond very well to outside status chance buffs, as the explosion shot has 50% status chance at base. So like with this build, well, it's currently got one dual stat on it, we're 80%. You can get like 140% status chance on the secondary shot per projectile, with 3 dual stats, making that viral and heat very, very consistent. If they do end up making galvanized mods, the galvanized condition overload mods actually work. They're still not currently working as of the 19th of July. That might potentially change some builds up. But yeah, expect lots of primary builds coming out on the channel next couple of days. Actually, for a while, I have like over 40 videos planned, and we've been working on them already. So I want to get this one out because, a lot of people have been more interested in the Corinth Prime because of the TennoCon new war trailer, and I was very pleasantly surprised here. I'd say if you don't have an Arcane Avenger, guys, it's very, very important nowadays because it buffs primaries a lot. On damage, you're getting increased crit chance, 45% additive. That makes weapons that aren't really crit become crit. So as you can see right here, here's the Acolyte not really dying as fast as you would hope. I mean, they're technically going to die, but they're slowed down by Sevagoth. They're debuffed by Sevagoth. You kind of wish for a little bit more here, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. That was too slow, so I ended up going to Sevagoth's Shadow for the next Acolyte. There's a 757,000 on the Acolyte with the secondary shot. So, yeah, here's a little trick you could do as well. If you are running a frame with Gloom subsumed from Sevagoth, you can actually go with this mod up here, Combat Discipline. You lose health on kill, but you also heal your teammates on kill. This will proc Arcane Avenger. This was in my Red Crit Mesa video from months and months ago. But if you're running Sevagoth, the way I look at it is you get some kills, and you proc your Arcane Avenger without getting shot at. You're also running Gloom, so you're healing every you deal damage. These two go together, you're going to always have Arcane Avenger up, and you'll also be full health. And if you're in a squad, you're technically healing your teammates too, but that's not as important. So yeah, overall, I would highly recommend the Corinth Prime to you. It's currently not even vaulted, so it's quite easy to get. The hardest part about it is actually getting the mastery rank for it. I think it said it was like mastery rank 13 or 14. But now that it's been buffed, now that critical deceleration's been buffed, look at this. The entire room is just dying in one shot. Now this is with my Riven build in this footage, but I mean, you can one-shot Exo Goose Drag officers in the Simulacrum easily as well. So the Rivens, you can get a really good rolled Riven for like a couple hundred plat, or you could roll it yourself. I'd say maybe go for it because this has been really nice. It's got good single target. It's got good multi-target. Like I said, it's good against Nox as well. A lot of weapons in this game, like the AoE spamming guns, not as good against Nox as you would hope. But this one is one of the ones that are actually really good. So we can quickly just show Nox Eximus here. Now keep in mind, the Nox Eximus is the biggest jerk, one of the biggest jerks in the game. So you kind of like don't want to fight him, but we'll show you how it goes if you did fight him. All right, and yeah, the gameplay really, really good. This was live on stream if you want to check it out. Really good stuff. All right, so we summoned in some butchers to get our Arcane Merciless proc here. And then there's the Nox Eximus, one of the biggest jerks in the game. So there we go. Got, 12 procs. Nox Eximus dead in 2 shots, level 180. So very, very strong. Really, really satisfying. And the magazine is broken. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you found it helpful. Lots of videos coming out soon. Make sure you're subbed and take it easy. Peace.